Hey everyone, Dr. Bob Rowe here. Uh, what I came to the conclusion was that people are really getting stressed by many things going on in life, and it's better if we understand what's coming up to be able to handle it better. So what I've been seeing is that there's massive changes coming about in the future and the near future that are going to affect not only the way we do things, but the way we work, and good things and bad things. So I wanted to put together a little presentation for people to understand what's going on out there, and so that they can get a better idea of what will be coming up and how they can better prepare for it. So what I came up with was basically four concepts, though it's better if we understand these concepts, we'll understand how things are going, how they got there, and where we're going from here. And that will give us a better appreciation of what the future has to hold. So I took an example, and I'm using the company Kodak and how things went from film cameras to digital cameras and what that was all about to give it an explanation of these four concepts. So the first concept is material versus digital. So when we take the look at the two different cameras, we notice that the film camera, or the original Kodak camera, had to use material in order to create the picture. In other words, if we wanted to see the picture, we had to have a process being done that used materials and actually to come up with the picture we wanted to see. So in those days when we used film a lot for our pictures, was the only way to do it in those days. What we came up with was we would take our camera, go and take pictures, and we wouldn't get them developed till we used up every last picture on the film. Then we would take it to a processing facility, which would then process the pictures for us. Then we get a chance to look at them. Then if we wanted to blow them up, do all those other things, then we thought about that later. And that's contrasted to what's developed through the digital technology era, where we have digital film, digital picture capture. So that captures many more images, and we can stop at any time and have a look at the images. So digital has a lot of advantages over the material or the film aspect of taking pictures. So we can view all kinds of images and discard the ones we don't want before we even have to go through materially printing them. And we never really have to. We can look at them at other devices that wouldn't mean that we'd have to use any material at all. So this is the digital form of what's happening in today's society. And it's happening in all kinds of different processes. It's happening in manufacturing, it's happening in healthcare. And we'll go through those very shortly too. So you can see that, again, you can store as many pictures as you want. You can reuse your storage device. You can keep them in somewhere else. But when we have the film, again, there's the material thing. We have to use up all this material in order to get a look at what we want. And it takes time, costs money, and wastes a lot of pictures that we really didn't want. So when we're looking at digital is much more versatile. And it keeps improving, like we saw. Over time, digital is going to get better, and all of the processes around digital will get better. Now, what that includes is a thing called exponential growth. Exponential growth, I'm going to explain it very simply, is based on growing at a very fast rate, but in the beginning it doesn't look like it's really growing much at all. As we can see on this chart here, linear growth grows a certain amount per year, where exponential growth grows and doubles. So how does that look? Well, let's take, for example, a farmer's raising some cattle. So the calf is born. The calf grows at a rate of 10 pounds per week. So within a few weeks, it's a pretty heavy calf. So we know that the rate of the calf growing will be a certain amount each week, and then that'll be it. That'll be as far as it goes. Now the other one around exponential growth, and that's the other term, is based on a thing called Moore's law. And Moore noticed in 1965 that as they improved the digital technology, they found out that the number of transistors they would use on an integrated circuit, they could get double the amount in every year, and it's kept growing ever since. So what that means is that we can put more and more on a particular piece of digital equipment, and we can get more out of it. So it doubles every year. So if we take a look at, for example, storage on a computer, if we look at the cost over the years, storage on a computer, we've noticed that the storage increases. The amount we can store will increase, but at the same time, the cost will decrease. So again, the storage doubles every year and the cost decreases by half every year. And it's been predictable, and it continues to go the same way every single year. So that's the whole exponential growth, and that's the thing that is concerning most people, because that's how we're going, and that's causing a disruption in a lot of different technologies, because we're having trouble seeing that coming. Now, the other thing that we want to look at is in manufacturing. So what's happening in manufacturing today is we're taking a completely different turn of things. Again, we're going more digital. We're doing an addition to things rather than taking things apart. So additive manufacturing means that now we have processes of building a little bit on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. That makes it very, very effective. So it makes it in a way that we can actually improve our designs. We can use many, many different materials, and there is a heck of a lot less waste because we're just using what we need at the time to add on to it to come out with what we want. So let's compare that with the regular manufacturing. So in regular manufacturing, we take this block or hunk of steel, and then we go and we mill it out, and we pull out of it the design we want. But again, that leaves a huge amount of waste materials. And so waste is a big problem with our regular manufacturing. So now regular manufacturing is being taken over by additive manufacturing. And that additive manufacturing means things like 3D printing.
You might know Local Motors from the Strati. This is the world's first 3D printed car. Maybe you know Local Motors from the Rally Fighter. This is actually the world's first co-created car, and it's colloquially known as the car the internet built. It's pretty cool. You might know Local Motors from the DARPA XC2V. This is a purpose-built vehicle specifically designed to keep all of our frontline troops as safe as possible. This is one very close to my heart, too. Or maybe you've had your pizza delivered in one of these Domino's Ultimate Pizza Delivery Vehicles, another co-created vehicle from our world. Or maybe you've met Ollie, which is our newest and really kind of the crown in our jewel. But it's a self-driving cognitive shuttle. It's powered by IBM Watson, and it's completely autonomous. All of these vehicles actually have two things in common, and I'm going to get real bookish on you and explain what they are. The first is that they are made in a microfactory. What is a microfactory? It's a physical operating space for rapid prototyping, modular experimentation, and small batch manufacturing of products. It's also a solution to how we can stop mass recalls of bad products that get on the road. They're also co-created. What is co-creation? An active process where brands and their customers work together with solvers, designers, and engineers to accelerate product and technology development. These two things together are the fundamentals with which Local Motors is built upon. And what ended up happening is that Local Motors saw so much success bringing really hard things, vehicles, to market faster and cheaper using co-creation and micromanufacturing, that all these other brands started knocking on the door. And it became very apparent that we actually had a service business.
is really, it's happening now, but it is very much the future of how people will be working. What MHub is it's a collaborative workspace for manufacturing. It brings together the physical and the digital. It allows entrepreneurs and small batch suppliers an opportunity to create new technologies and tap into a community of intellect, and it's really exciting.
Technology really just opens up the doors to what you can create.
People are hungry for solutions.
And you think they're recognizing the need for speed as well?
I think they're
faster?
recognizing the need for speed, and they're hungry for solutions and recognizing that it's okay to partner to find solutions. We can't build it all ourselves.
Yeah.
The future of manufacturing is digital, but it's about community. In the past, it was about physical infrastructure and expensive machines. Now it's about being fast and being digital and having it distributed. So we have Carvey and Xcarve, which are 3D carving machines, and Easel, which is, you just go to easel.com where people are going on, doing their design, and then you can plug in one of the machines into your computer, click carve, and it'll make it. We have about 1,000 different materials that you can order from us. A lot of people are selling their stuff on Etsy or Shopify. A lot of them have their own stores. They're selling on Instagram.
You're making materials accessible. So
Yes.
if I'm an everyday entrepreneur or maker, I don't know how to get this. And
Exactly.
I'm able to come to you and figure it out.
Manufacturing has been thought of as a bunch of isolated physical activities. When it becomes a system, much more dynamic, much more flexible, faster, better.
Perception of America, with manufacturing, it feels like a dirty job. It's usually in a basement. It's greasy. It's oily. But that's not what manufacturing is these days. It takes a higher skill set to do some of the digital manufacturing, and some of the processes that are developed are a lot more efficient.
Rethink does collaborative robots. Collaborative robots let humans and work together in close proximity with the robot.
So you're looking at robots, at drones, at 3D printing. I mean, this is all the science fiction stuff that's real.
Manufacturing will be more localized rather than thinking about, I'm going to do something for a low cost in China. I want to do it closer to the end user because I'm looking at my total landed costs. I think there's going to be a lot of innovation, and I think the combination of those things are very powerful.
We hope that over the next decade, we'll move from about 300,000 factories in America that look like GE factories to 3 million factories that look like this, or in people's garages
So I
or in
think this
libraries.
is really important to just pause on this. This
Yeah.
is the future. So with that, you're looking at an incredible swarm of creativity here, and I look forward to us tapping into it, and I'm sure everyone here does. Thank you for the opportunity to share some ideas.